at some point you're going to have to go in busy traffic when you learn to drive, whether it be you're having lessons in the busy area, which is a little bit harder at first, but you get good at it because you have to get good at it, or you're having lessons in the quiet time, in which case you want to have a few lessons in the busy areas, in the busy times of day. So it's now Saturday afternoon, it's 1:30 in the afternoon, and it's quite busy. It doesn't look so busy at the moment outside. I'll just turn that on there. Yeah, I'll turn it on now. So that's on. So it doesn't look so busy at the moment, but I'm going to get some driving on some roads. There's going to be busy traffic, busy roundabouts, possibly some queues in traffic. So that'll be interesting, and we'll see how we get on. Let's get out of it. And we're just going to take our time. Oh yeah, slow down straight away. Someone's reversing out there. What's he doing? Typical sort of thing. White van. He reversed that quite far than he did. Really? I mean, it was a bit quick as well, in my opinion. I don't know what you think, whether you think I'm right saying that, or whether you think it was a bit over top. I'm going to do a right turn at the end, and typical tricky little junction straight away, looking over the hedges. In car parks, when it's busy, you've got to be looking everywhere for what's going on, because you just can't trust them to kind of be sensible with the speeds. Some of them go a bit quick. But what you've got to remember is when you do go, don't hang around, get on with it. Don't trickle out of some junctions. If you think it's a busy junction, you want to get out quick, get on with it. Don't kind of take your time. We're going to go right at the end of the road. And because we're in busy traffic, make sure, quite a good tip here, make sure you can see the tyres on the ground. They call it the 3 T's. 2 tyres, 2 rear tyres in front of you, and tarmac. If you can't see them tyres on the ground in front of you, you're too close to the car in front of you, and you're going to likely to bump into it. And also, I'm just going to wait for these two. Oh, they're turning, so I'm going to make a move. Also, consider the car in front of you. They might be qualified, but they might roll back on a hill. So give that space, or they could break down. So if they break down in front of you, you've got space to go around. But if you're right on the back of them, there's a risk they're going to roll into you, or you're going to slip off the clutch and drive into them, or they're going to break down and you have to reverse back to go around them. So give yourself space. Straight away, there's a gap straight away, so I'm going to carry on. And we'll carry on. We'll get onto the big roads. We're going to do a right turn here. Here we go. And off we come. At the moment, it looks clearish, which is great. But I know it's going to get busier up the road. It will always will. It's in a busier area. So it's a nice little warm up. So if you're one of the people who you're worried about learning to drive in busy traffic, then at some point you're going to have to go in it, because after you pass your driving test, you can't just not drive in busy traffic, because you're going to limit the times when you can go out in your car. And it might be that you've got a 9 till 5 job, which means you're going to have to set off early in busy traffic and come back late in busy traffic. So driving in rush hour is probably a good idea at some point in your lessons. Maybe not so much in the first few lessons, because it might be a bit overwhelming. But when you're coming up to your driving test, you want to be definitely have a try in rush hour, just to get used to it. Now we're not in rush hour here, but it's going to get busy. We've got a little bit of a tail back at the roundabout. Looks like about 5 cars straight away. We're going to go left onto a dual carriageway, and if I'm stopping, it's going to be a hill start. There's a learner at the front as well. I'm giving space from the Range Rover in front of me. I'm in first gear, if people are wondering at this point. And I'm just crawling forward, just using a bit of gas and clutch. I'm not going to use my handbrake, I'm just going to balance the pedals. I've not got a pedal cam on unfortunately today because the other camera's not ready for today. And see that Range Rover going on the curb? Avoid that, because if you keep letting your back tyres go on the curb, eventually you're going to get a flat tyre, so you're going to clip a curb that's sticking out. So I'm not using my handbrake, which is fine. I didn't need my handbrake at that point. I could use a bit of pedal control. I'm just going to wait, get myself closer, get up to the white line, quite important, signal back on. I'm going to get out. Now the black car's turning left, so I've got a gap straight away. I'm not going to hang around. Remember, it's a fast road. It's a 70-mile-an-hour road. I'm going to build my speed up. Left lane for driving on dual carriageways, right lane for overtaking, or turning right at the end. Get myself up to speed, doing 55, 60, and I'm just easing off the gas a little bit because I don't want to catch that white car in front of me. We're going to go ahead at the roundabout. A little bit more traffic ahead again. There's a few cars at the roundabout, but they're all moving. Checking what's happening around me. Dropping to 5th to 3rd on the gears. Slowing down for the roundabout. Middle lane to go ahead. Left lane goes left. Slowing down for the roundabout. Traffic's coming from the right. Pop it in first. Waiting. Up to the line. And then off that brake. Get near the gas. A little bit of bite. Waiting. Gas and bite. And get out of the way. Check the mirrors, tell them you're coming off. Build your speed up as you come out the bend, 3rd gear. Build your speed up, car in the right lane, 4th gear. Yeah, if you find yourself in the right lane coming off a dual carriageway, then get in the left lane when you can. Last thing you want to do is drive in the right lane all the way down, not going fast. Because all you're going to do is hold people up. Because there's a car behind me, there's a car behind him trying to get through, but he can't get through because the one of them going past me now is not letting him get through. So it's not a great driving by this here. Now if you're wondering at the roundabouts whether you're going to be 2 or 3 lanes, we're going to go ahead. I can see there the right lane's narrowing. Now if you're never sure, the white line in the middle of the 2 lanes here, keep next to it and it'll lead to the middle. And we're just going to slow it down, dropping down a second because it looks busy on the right, popping it into 1st gear if I'm stopping, and then I'm off. So I was only in 1st gear for a split second, then back to 2nd. So I'm going to stop for a second, if not even that, if anything. On that gas, back up the gears, get myself back up to 4th gear pretty quickly. I'm going to go right at the roundabout, check my mirrors, make sure there's nothing there. And we're going to go right at the roundabout, 3rd exit. Go for that one there, yeah. Out we come. Taking it round, checking the mirrors, signalling. So we're heading towards Bletchley. Now it's a bit of a spiral roundabout. It's got lights on some of it. And then Bletchley is straight on 3rd exit. So I'm checking what's happening behind me. It's going to need a lane change because the first 2 lanes go a different way, which is ahead and left, and we're going to go ahead for 3rd. So there's your middle lane. There's your 1st exit on the left. Lights are on green. 2nd exit, this leads to the left lane going round. Bit of a queue ahead of me as well, so I'm slowing myself down. That way I'm not braking hard. And remember, if you're in a queue, make sure you can see his tyres on the ground. If you can't, you're too close. Pop it in first, and then they're all moving, so I'm going to carry on. So I'm not actually stopping. It's quite a good little tip for you, is if you can see ahead of you and they're all about to go, don't kind of race up to them, brake hard and stop. Get yourself slowing down, so as you're stopping, you're going. You know, art of not stopping, I suppose, is the key. So at the moment they're on red, bit of traffic, which is fine, bit of a queue, which is what we want. These 2 lanes are going ahead, that's what it's on the left, that sign. And I'm slowing down behind the Mini. Now, what's interesting, when we get through these lights, it's a dual carriageway at the moment, but it's going to go to single lane. So you're going to get an arrow saying, get in lane, get it, merging turn. Just be aware of cars in your outside lane who are going to shoot past you if you come across this sort of situation, because you're going to get them. You know, whether you're a learner or whether you pass your driving test, there's always going to be someone who wants to get ahead of the next guy. So if you're aware of it, you're going to avoid it. So it's supposed to be merging turn, 10 turns each, but sometimes cars will try and 2-3 cars will try and shoot past the last few seconds. So here's one lane, checking my mirror, nothing's there, slowly narrowing down to one lane. So that was fairly easy, that one then, for a change. And then traffic slowing down, keeping me safe gap. I'm going to go ahead. So I'm checking what's happening. Slowing down, keeping a gap from the car in front of me. Pop it in first. And then off the brake, a bit of gas and bite, hold it still, and don't rush. Let the car in front of me move off. No point in rushing to the roundabout. Just gently cover the brake, keep the clutch as it is, back on the gas. And you're not rushing then. Mirrors to the left, signal to come off. And then speed limit's 30 miles an hour, because as we come off the roundabout, it just told you 30 miles an hour. Good gear for 30 miles an hour. In my car, it's 3rd gear. Some people say use 4th gear. This is the 1.4 engine. It's possibly, if you put it in 4th gear, it's going to try and push it over 30 miles an hour, because the clutch is going to try and pull it forward and 4th. So leave it in 3rd and it will just cruise about 27 without pressing the gas very hard. So it helps. Obviously, if you've got a smaller engine, you might use a higher gear. Depends on the engine. But you'll know when you're using your car, or you're learning in your car, you'll know when your instructor will be saying, so use that gear there, it's better than using a certain gear. So we're going to go ahead at the roundabout, bit of traffic ahead of us, and we're just going to follow the road ahead. A little bit of a complicated bit coming up. If people are not sure, I'm following the road ahead, heading towards the traffic lights. So there's a giveaway point ahead of me, and then a small roundabout straight after it. Now there's 2 lanes on the approach here. Left lane, what I'm in, can go ahead or left, which we're going to go ahead in. The right lane goes right. So we're just going to go ahead. And I'm 1st gear, a little bit of gas, a little bit of clutch. When you're in traffic, you don't need to rush to pull forward, because you know you're going to slow down, and then lowering the clutch. A little bit of gas, a little bit of bite, hold it, and just pull forward slowly. You don't need like a lot of biting point. And then remember, keep that space from the car so you can see his tyres. I'm on the clutch, I'm on the brake, waiting. You could use your handbrake if you're worried about the car behind you. Someone's getting bid there, pulling out. So it's a tricky little one. Not easy. It looks straightforward to people looking at it now, but trust me, it's not an easy one. You could be sat here for a few minutes. And another little tip, if you can't get out, you wait. Don't force your way out. Some people feel like they've got to go after a few minutes. So we're going to go ahead at this point. I'm going to use my handbrake so it's a bit quicker to get out in. I'm in 1st gear, just below the biting point, just covering the gas, waiting for this black car to come round, lowering the clutch back down again because there's no gap. I'm waiting. Here comes a little gap. Gas, bite, hold it, and come across to the left side slowly because there's a lot of traffic. So the van's took a risk there, pulled in front of me. That's why you got to go slow in busy traffic. We're going to go left at the roundabout, checking to the right. There's a couple of people coming through. It's waiting, being safe, gas, bite, taking me time. Another tip for in busy traffic, don't rush when you're moving forward. Move forward at a slow speed, braking gently and early. That way you control the car behind you. If you're going to rush off and brake late and hard, the guy behind you might drive into you not realising. He thinks you're going to rush off and follow you. We're going to slow ourselves down for the traffic and we're following it out. We're not rushing. Mirrors to the left to come off. Going left at the end of here, coming up. Mirrors signal left. And it's a bit choppy the road. So I'm in third gear, people are wondering. I'm doing 22 miles an hour. I'm not trying to go super fast because I'm going to cover my brake at this point. I don't know what's round the corner. It could be parked cars for all I know. I'm looking the best I can. Oh, it looks clear, so I'm back on the gas. But that's what you've got to anticipate what could be there. You can't see, you see. A left turn, signalling, slowing down for a second. I can see across the bend, it looks clear, so I'm not slowing down loads. I'm doing 15 miles an hour, it's fine. I can see it was clear. We've got a couple of roundabouts, but we're going to go left. We go back to the busy area. And there's a bit of a queue of traffic, so I'm just letting the car slow down gradually. I don't have to race up to them and then brake late and hard. I want to try and manage the speed, and also by coming off the gas a little bit earlier, you're going to save fuel. You're not going to suddenly use loads of fuel, because if you're racing up to hazards or queues of traffic, you're just making more problems for yourself. So we're going to go left when I can get through. So I'm not indicating yet because I'm actually stuck in a bit of traffic, and I'm waiting. Is it 1, 2, 4 cars on the right, and the white ones come right behind me. So another little tip after you pass your driving test: don't go close behind the learner car, because you don't know that learner. They could be experienced learner. It might even be the instructor driving it, or it could be someone who's the first time on a busy road and they're a bit jittery, and they might end up panicking and rolling backwards. It could be the learner with the parents. So give a learner a bit of space, give them a bit of consideration that they might be new on the road, and don't pressurise them too much. So we're going to go ahead, second exit at the roundabout, and I'm back up to fourth. That car might pull out, I'm expecting him to, but he's giving way, which is good. And I'm going to go ahead. Remember, then it's the white line, take it to the middle. And I'm checking, bit of traffic coming round, slowing down, keeping them tyres in, I can see, yeah. Pop it in first, giving way up to the white line, and I'm waiting. Now, it looks busy, so I'm going to stick the handbrake on. And I'm waiting. Here comes a bit of a gap, gas, bite, and I'm off. Come across to the left side, where the grass is. Checking my mirrors, signalling, telling everyone I'm coming off. So there's no excuse for them. There's a bit of a queue of traffic on that right lane, and I could just see it. Yeah, definitely a queue of traffic in the right lane. Now, when you see traffic in the lane next to you, just be careful in case anyone tries to change lanes because they're sick of waiting in the queue. Keep around the lights, you're on green. That's another little tip for you. If there's a queue of traffic on the left or right and you're on the opposite side next to it, just watch out for people suddenly changing into the other lane what you're in. I've seen it happen time and time again. And if you go past slow moving traffic, just be cautious with your speed and don't go too close to them when you're going past them in case someone decides to suddenly move direction without looking. We're going to go ahead at the roundabout, second exit. Here we go, and off we come here. Ahead of us, they've got traffic lights and a yellow box junction. Now, yellow box junctions in slow traffic, don't park on them. don't get stuck on them. If you can't get through to the other side, don't enter. The only exception if you want to turn right and the side road you want to go into is clear to go into, you're allowed to stop on it then. Lights are not working, which is fine. We're just going to follow the road ahead. And we're going to come left at the roundabout. Mirrors, signal, slowing myself down for second gear on approach, and a bit more traffic again. Get up to the line. Actually, what they're doing then, pop it in first gear, up to the line, yeah. I'm going to put my handbrake on this time, and I'm going to wait for that motorbike, because it's only narrow. There we go, gas and bite, and we're off. Back to second gear. Back to third gear. We're going to go left. Mirror signal left, pop it in fourth at the same time, so I'm not struggling with the gears. The engine's not struggling then. You can always slow back down for third here. If I left it in third, it would have been screaming for a gear change then, because I got my speed up pretty quick. So even though it might be like ahead of you slowing back down, it's sometimes better to go back gear for that first next few seconds, just to kind of save yourself from struggling. Now I know I'm not doing 39 miles an hour, I'm doing 29 miles an hour, so that must be wrong. I looked at it and I thought, 39 miles an hour? No chance. I looked at it twice, but no chance. 29 miles an hour doing, so that must be wrong, that thing then. It needs a calibration. So if you've liked this driving around in busy traffic, it might not seem busy as the area where you live, but it's fairly busy then give it a like, the video, and feel free to leave a comment, and maybe there's a video that you think, do you know what, I won't mind you doing a video on that. I might have already done it, so if I have, I might even put in a link for you. Take care everybody, and safe driving.